letters, and welcome to lesson 61 on using letters to identify geometric figures such as triangles, rectangles, circles, etc. Lines, angles. So to name a polygon, we start at one vertex and then we move around the perimeter, which is the outside, naming each vertex in order. So for example, we got a triangle here. That's what that little symbol means. And if I wanted to name this triangle, I am going to pick one vertex. Let's say I start with A, and then I'm just going to go around and name all the ones I find. So A, B, C. Okay? And it doesn't matter which order I go in, as long as I'm going around in an order. So I could start with B, and I could go B, C, A. Okay, down here, find another one that you could name this triangle by that I have not used already. All right, let's move over here to this rectangle. So, doesn't matter which one I start with, but if I start with D, I need to pick one right next to it. So I either need to go to A or I need to go to C. I'm going to go around this way. So this is going to be rectangle D, A. What comes after A? B. Remember, I'm walking right around the perimeter. C. So this is rectangle D, A, B, C. I cannot say rectangle D, B, C, A because I jumped across right here and I have to go around the perimeter. But I could go in an opposite order. I could start with the same point, and instead of going to A, I could go to C. So I could say D, C. What would come next? B, A. And I don't have to start with D. I could start with any letter I want. So what if I started with angle B? I could go B, C, D, A. B, C, D, A. Go ahead and come up with another one that we have not done together right now. All right, we name a line by naming any 2 points on it. So you just pick 2 points that are labeled on a line, and that's how you're going to name it. It doesn't matter which order they're in. It doesn't matter if there's a point in between them. We name a line segment, right here, a line segment by the end points. So this one, the order still does not matter, but it does matter that you pick the points on the way ends of the line. All right? And we name a ray. Remember, a ray has a starting point and then goes on forever, by the end point. So by this spot right here, you don't want to pick the point that's by the arrow. Then you're going to name the other point that would be by the arrow. So let's look at an example. So here we have a line, and if I want to name this line, I know it's a line because it has arrows on the end, then I can pick any 2 points on this to next to each other. So this is line A, C, and I'm going to draw this symbol above it that looks like a little line. That tells me that this is a line. So this is line AC. It's going to continue forever in both directions past the A and the C. It is also line BA. It is also line CB. It is also line AB. So you can pick any one that you want to right here and draw your little arrows above it. This is different than a line. This is a line segment. It doesn't have the arrows on the end. Okay, and line segments, let's say that there was a C here. For a line segment, I have to pick the end points of A and B. So I have only 2 options for this one. It can be AB or it can be BA. This means line segment AB, line segment BA. It's the same thing. We're talking about the distance from here to here. If I did AC, I would only be talking about this line segment right here. I would not be talking about this part also. All right, over here, I have a ray. It starts at the B and it continues to the A. And for this one, there's only one choice. Okay, let's look at my directions again. I have to name the end point first. So what is my end point? B. It doesn't have the arrow, and it goes from B to A, and I can show that with a little ray symbol above it. Okay? All right, next thing. There's lots of vocab, I told you. So when you name an angle, you can use 3 letters with the vertex you want in the middle. Now, if I have a shape like this and I want to talk about angle B, I can just call it angle B because there's no other angles that I really could be talking about except for this one in this shape. But if I have an angle like D, then I could be talking about this angle 5 or 4 or 6. I don't know which one. So I'm going to name an angle using 3 letters. Let me show you how to do that. Let's start by naming angle B using 3 letters. I can start with A or C. I'm going to basically be tracing the outline of this angle. So if I started at A, I would go A, B, that letter is going to be in the middle, C. And that way with my fingers, if I were to trace those letters, I'll know that it's talking about this angle right here. Number 1, okay? So angle 1 is angle A, B, C. You also could write that as CBA. That would be okay too. All right, what about 2? Angle 2, I'm going to say is BA. This is the one I really want, right? D. All right, you try to do angle 3 by yourself. Now let's look at one of the ones that's around this D right here, okay? Because there's multiple ones. So 4, if I'm talking about this angle right here, then I'm going to say A, D, C, or C, D, A. If I'm talking about angle 5, it's going to be C, D, E, or E, D, C. All right, and 6, for this one right here, let's see if you can do that one. And it's a little tricky because it's a straight angle right here. So notice the points. You're still going to pick 3 to list and do your little angle symbol in front of it. All right, example B. Angle A is acute. Name another acute angle. So angle A is acute. Name another acute angle. Is that acute? No. Is that acute? No. Acute angles are often across from each other like this. So we have 2 and 3. We're going to name it angle C. And because it's not confusing like here where there's multiple angles, I can just call it angle C. All right, try this one on your own. Angle B is obtuse. Name another obtuse angle. So angle B is obtuse. Name another obtuse angle. And when you name it, this one, you're going to have to use one of those tricks that we had with the 3. Otherwise, it could be confusing which angle you're talking about. Last part of this lesson, I know this video is a little long. The length of line segment PR is 3 centimeters. Oops, that's supposed to say the. The length of PQ is 8 centimeters. Find RQ. So let's plug that information in right here. The length of PR, so from here to here, is 3 centimeters. The length of PQ, so from here to here, is 8 centimeters. Find RQ. So this is what we're looking for. So if this distance is 8 and this distance is 3, then I know that this plus this has to equal this. So to undo the addition, I'm going to solve with subtraction. So if 3 plus something equals 8, then 8 minus 3 will equal this. So if I do 8 minus 3, that equals 5. And so RQ is 5 centimeters. All right, down here is one for you to try. So this tells you that ST is 5 centimeters, ST. QT is 12 centimeters. Find QS. So plug them in up here, do your little arithmetic or subtraction, and write your answer there. All right, you've got a lot to do, so I look forward to seeing how well you did. Go ahead and get to work.